Norman Bethune is the greatest Canadian and should be on the $20 bill. He has done so much for people, Canada, medical practices, and politics. He was born on March 4th, 1890 in Gravenhurst, Ontario. I will first be talking about his achievements in the medical field, China, Canada, and Spain through historical significance. He created the first mobile blood bank that allowed the first ever blood transfusion on the battlefield. He also helped write the medical manuals and invent medical tools. He was also an early advocate for government health care. While serving in the Sino-Japanese War, he saved 115 lives in just 70 hours, as well as performing 71 operations in just 41 hours. He served in World War I, the Spanish Civil War, and the Sino-Japanese War. He spent most of his time in China serving and helping the Chinese Communist Party. Without him, many people would have died, many medical equipment and surgeries wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have the same health care as we do today too. He is known as Canada's most incredible surgeon they have ever produced. He is very symbolic too, as he has a school named after him. He became a national hero in China, has many statues, and is even in the Canadian Medical Hall of Fame. He didn't get as much recognition as he did in China though. He is so highly respected in China that I can't even fit all of the things they have done for him. Some examples can include 3 statues, hospitals, schools, medals, and awards named after him. He even had an essay written about him that the whole of China knew about, and had a children's book written about him that was required by all schools. He was even buried in China. I think this just goes to show that he was more honored in China than his home native country. So I think it's important to recognize this great Canadian hero. I think he should be on the $20 bill because I don't think I've ever heard of someone who has done more for others than Dr. Norman Bethune. He has helped so many people in different ways, and they still impact us today. Next, how he affected politics. As I mentioned before, he was a communist and against fascism. The reason he went to China and Spain was because he wanted to end fascism and thought this was the best way to do it. So he decided to join a communist party. He went to Spain as they were fighting a fascist army, but later had to leave for personal conflicts. Upon returning to Canada, he had many speaking events talking about anti-fascism and raised a lot of money for the cause. He then volunteered to go to China because, again, they were fighting a fascist army. Sadly, while in China, he lost his life due to an infection from a cut that he performed from a surgery. The cause was that he went to Spain and China to fight against fascism, as well as he raised money for anti-fascism. And the consequence is that he informed many people about fascism, as well as he became a well-known political figure even 70 years after his death. With these reasons, that's why I believe Norman Bethune is the greatest Canadian and should be on the $20 bill.